Good afternoon, Ospreys. You're watching Nest News live from the Student Union. I'm Santiago Castillo.
And I'm Erin Riley. Coming up on today's show, UNF SDS in Tallahassee.
Change in the LGBTQ Center's website.
President Limayem at Student Government Senate meeting.
Charges against the SOAR party dropped.
And the weather.
Stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Over 100 protesters from various activist groups across Florida mobilized to Tallahassee on Tuesday, protesting everything from House Bill 999 to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis himself.
I know they thought that we would stand by and take their attacks, but instead, we banded together and we plan to fight back against every single hateful legislation that they brought.
Different groups co-sponsored this march across Florida A&M's campus to the H. Manning Everson Student Union building where the Florida Board of Governors met. FSU Black Men in Medicine FSU graduate students united the Tallahassee Community Action Committee and the University of North Florida Students for a Democratic Society were among the leaders of a protest. Members of the SDS chapters from around Florida met in the pouring rain, leading chants and giving speeches. To follow Spinnaker's coverage of the protest, check out unfspinnaker.com.
The LGBTQ Center's signature event page, which included information about drag, sex education, and other annual events, was re-added to their website last Friday afternoon after the University of North Florida instructed them to remove it the day before. Dr. Richmond Wing, UNF's Chief of Diversity Officer and Vice President, told Spinnaker that the webpage was removed to update the tab with current description of the event and general timing of when the event occurs. So what changed? The word drag queen doesn't appear in this new version of the webpage. The last version of the webpage included the space about Drag Queen Brunch, an annual event where drag queens were invited to perform and raise funds for the LGBTQ Center. Now there is a new section called Pride Month events. The information below each event has also changed, leaving out links to the past events and changing the language for the description of the events. Spinnaker requested a statement from Dr. Wing explaining why the change was made to the LGBTQ Center's page, but did not receive an immediate response.
University of North Florida President Moaz Limayem addressed the UNF Senate on the third floor of the Student Union this afternoon to discuss the community concerns. In discussing challenges the administration is facing, Limayem points to celebrating differences as UNF embraces one of the largest freshman classes ever.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get you on portrait real quick.
The 12 presidents of the systems, of the Florida university systems, we meet every single Monday at 5 p.m. to make sure we discuss together. We use the channels to talk to our legislators through the Board of Governors, through many of the leaders in our community, to tell them that there are many unintended consequences, to relay the concerns. And this is about curriculum, this is about DEI, that we cannot use any source of funding regardless of the fund. It's about the faculty and post-tenure. And I can assure you we're making a lot of progress, but that's my top priority now, is working through the right channels so that we make sure, as much as we can, we minimize the impact of the new laws. And I can assure you we've been successful. It's a marathon. It is difficult, but we're making progress. And you have my commitment that we will be working really, really hard to make sure that all the concerns that we're hearing from faculty, staff, students, from leaders are not just relayed but emphasized. But again, really honored to be here, and more even honored to be your president.
The president discussed his background to reassure the Senate that he and his administration have been working really hard to address the concerns of this campus community. He said that he is going to start tackling these concerns by hitting the ground and listening. With a history of teaching in his family, Limayem is working on his vision for the future of UNF. The event ended with opening the floor to public remarks after President Limayem left the chambers.
A judicial complaint filed against the Sauer Party Chair Emily Sullivan was dismissed Tuesday by Associated Justice Atwand Marshall. Running on an uncontested, Sullivan is the student body vice president-elect. According to the unofficial election results, the complaint alleged that Sullivan broke 5 rules ranging from Sauer's party's social media usage to the party's name. Justice Marshall's decision letter said that after reviewing the material, they determined that the complaints met the minimum requirements for the case dismissal. Part C of the hearing guidelines state that any significant procedural defect that would make their fair and proper trial impossible. Justice Marshall said that the decision meets the hearing guidelines and will not be heard before the primary court. There was no other details included in the letter. And now to Kobe for your weekly weather update.
Good afternoon, Ospreys. My name is Kobe Rosenberg. Today's weather is looking like a high near 84 and a low of 68. It is a beautiful day today with lots of sun. Tonight we can expect it to be partly cloudy. If you're planning on a beach trip, there is a rip current statement out until tonight at 11. Looking forward to the rest of the weekend, we are seeing highs in the mid to upper 80s and lows in the 60s, with slight chances of thunderstorms. Finally, next week is getting warmer with highs in the upper 80s and low in the 90s. Get ready to feel the Florida heat once more. That's all I have for you guys. Swoop!
That's just about all we have for you today, Ospreys.
Remember to consider donating to support Spinnaker through the link in the description below.
For all things Spinnaker, check out our website at unfspinnaker.com.
Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram at UNFSpinnaker and check out the rest of our YouTube for more content.
As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Erin.
I'm Santiago. We'll see you next week on Spinnaker Nest News.